Hello, everyone. This is Beastly Eel, and on today's episode, we're going to be talking about the premiere of What If on Marvel. So, for those of you who don't know, What If was originally a comic book series created by Marvel to basically, what if this happened, and like how it would affect the rest of the entire Marvel universe. So, Marvel decided to do a show about it, specifically 2 seasons of it. We're only going to be seeing one for this year, and it introduces the multiverse in a much more cohesive way. We get to see all the possibilities of what could have happened. Now, granted, they're not going to show us everything, but we get to see different storylines of things that could have happened but didn't. So, the very first episode, one, I will say this, spoiler alert, but the the name of the episode kind of gives it away anyway. So, what if Captain Carter was the first Avenger? Now, I know what you're thinking. Who the heck is Captain Carter? We only know Agent Carter. Well, same person, different scenario. So, this takes place in World War II, and everything's pretty much the same in the Captain America movie up until he goes to get the serum put into himself. So instead, Sharron Carter decides to stay down below, and because of that, changes what happens in the entire multiverse. I mean, in the entire universe. So her staying down there means everyone else pretty much stays down there. Nobody goes upstairs. So the device gets blown. The little notebook binder, whatever the hell you want to call it, blows up while Steve Rogers is inside the device. Um, Howard Stark lets him out. He goes after the German guy. Gets shot by the German guy because at this point, Steve Rogers has not actually gotten the serum inside of him, and because of that, has caused a lot of problems for himself. So he gets shot twice. Sharron Carter comes in and kills him. Howard Stark is freaking out because he needs to get this fixed, but this is the only shot they have. So she goes inside and decides to go in it because Steve Rogers is too hurt to go in. So she goes in and gets the serum put inside of her. And she comes out taller, and she is muscular, but she's not as buff. And again, it's a cartoon, so it's animation, so it's hard to tell. But she's definitely taller. She's definitely stronger, but physically stronger. It's tough to tell. She doesn't have the muscle mass. Not that she really needs it, but just in general, it's just bizarre to see. So when Sharon gets the super soldier serum inside of her, she basically starts to get poked and prodded to get as much of the information that they can out of her blood. This colonel comes in and is basically pissed off that she got it because no woman could be a soldier. She shouldn't even be on the front line. She shouldn't even have been in the room. And she's not happy with it, but she's like, whatever. So Howard Stark is basically the head of science, which he was in Captain America anyway. And he's kind of working with the Colonel to figure out what's going on and what Hydra's doing. So Carter finds out that the Tesseract, which was found by Red Skull, could cause devastation and destroy Europe and potentially the entire world. So she goes in to take care of it. So the Colonel's all against it because he's not going to waste any manpower. And in actuality, they didn't have to waste any manpower because it was just Agent Carter. So Agent Carter comes in, beats the living hell out of all of them. And I mean, beats them hard. I think it's the first time she actually realizes how strong she is, and she just starts beating people up left and right. So anyway, she plows through all the men, and there's one guy who basically is not concerned at all because it's just some dame, so he can beat her. And she beats him in like 3 hits, and he's knocked out. She gets the Tesseract and the little German scientist, and Tony Stark, sorry, Howard Stark uses the Tesseract and creates the Hydra Buster. Now, the Hydra Buster is very similar to the Mach 1 Iron Man suit. Um, it is powered by the Tesseract, and it is piloted by none other than Steve Rogers. So we see that now Steve Rogers is in the Hydra Buster, and him and Carter basically take out a bunch of German people with ease. Those two combined take out so many. And the Colonel, of course, is taking credit for the fact that Captain Carter and the Hydra Buster are winning the war, and it was his idea the whole time, and he's so happy it's working out perfectly. Blah 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 blah. So anyway, they find out, they get intel that the Red Skull is on this particular train. So they plan to get on the train. So the Hydra Buster lands in front of the train to slow it down. Sorry. And the rest of the group, Carter, um, Bucky, oh, so sorry, I did skip a part. She goes in and saves Bucky and his entire platoon with ease. She does it with Steve Rogers. Um, Bucky is very surprised, but whatever. So she gets them all out along with him, and then they find out that you know Red Skull's gonna be on the train. Um, Hydra Buster goes in front of the train. The rest of them land on top. Very similar to Captain America, except for obviously the Hydra Buster and Sharon being Captain Carter. So he lands in front and he opens it up and finds out that it's just a bomb. So he orders everyone else to get out of there. They're able to escape. When the train explodes, it is thought that Steve Rogers inside the Hydra Buster is killed. So, needless to say, Sharon is very disappointed. She loved Steve Rogers. And what happens is they get more intel about Red Skull and finding out that he's trying to open up a portal to release a creature that will in turn destroy the entire world and be the champion of Hydra to basically kill everybody that Hydra needs killed. Well, Sharon and the rest of the crew decide to go after him. They find out by torturing the scientists, they get the information of where his base of operations is. So Howard Stark, Agent Carter, I'm sorry, Captain Carter, and the rest of the platoon go to the castle. Her and Howard go upstairs while the rest of the group goes downstairs. They find the Hydra Buster and Steve Rogers still alive. They help him up and basically power his suit as best they can. Howard and Captain Carter find Red Skull after he's already opened the portal. It basically has like a kraken-like creature, so very squid-like tentacles and everything else. Also very Hydra-like. Um, it starts attacking everybody, German and everything included. So she gets Howard over to the machinery, and she starts beating up and cutting up the creature. Because we don't know the name of it, so we're just going to go with the creature. So she starts cutting it up and smashing it around. The Hulk Buster. I keep calling it the Hulk Buster. The Hydra Buster comes out, starts helping out, but he runs out of power. It starts to suck every. Howard is able to suck up, like reverse engineer the portal. So instead of releasing, it sucks it in. So Sharon gets sucked in along with it. And you think that's the end of the story. Years later, the Tesseract is used again by S.H.I.E.L.D. Open up the portal, and who else but comes out but Captain Carter, sword and shield, and a bunch of cut up tentacles. And Nick Fury and Hawkeye are there to greet her, and they explain to her that the war was won and that unfortunately it's been 70 years since then. And that's how the episode ends. So I'm curious. So we first off, Agent Carter, Captain Carter is stronger than Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers is Captain America, in my personal opinion. Just by the sheer fact, and I imagine it has to do with her muscle mass that was there before. Um, but anyway, she's physically stronger. I'm just curious at what happened after that. Like, what happened in that 70 years? Does Tony Stark have a super advanced suit already because of his dad already creating the Hydra Buster? Um, just so many unanswered questions. Like, well, then now what happens in Avengers? What happens after that? Now that she's there, does she just take the place of Steve Rogers, or was because of that there were so many changes to the multiverse that none of the characters from Avengers exist? I mean, we don't know. I think there's a lot of unknowns. I'm wondering how they're going to do it. I'm wondering how they're going to do just how it affects the particular story, like the particular movie. So, like, that was Captain America. So, like, they only showed what changed in Captain America. They're not going to go any further. It's just very, very interesting. It also opens a lot of doors. So I'd be interested to see where they go with it. Um, and are they going to expand on these stories, or are they going to be all completely individual stories? I'm just very curious. But yes, it was, in my opinion, an excellent story. Well done. Animation was nice. Voice acting was great. The story itself was actually really good. And it showed how different it would have turned out for the sheer fact that Steve didn't take the serum. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought in the comments. I'm curious what you guys think. Um, Other than that, if you like the content you see, please like and subscribe below. And this is Beastly Eel signing out. So have a great night.